Hi, welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today I'm going to be exploring how you can not only survive, but thrive the Q4 holiday season and make some money. So I'm going to be exploring some different things that you can actually turn into actionable plans for your Q4. It is getting a little bit late into that, but you still have a good month probably. And you also have the potential for those last minute sales for DIYers. So let's jump in. We're going to be using Artistly 6 as a basis. We're also going to be discussing my playbooks and how they can help you to speed your processes along. So let's get started. So I've got some slides I put together just to kind of help me keep my focus so that hopefully this won't be such a long video. I want it to be productive for you, but I also want it to not be super long so you don't get bored. So anyway, so survive and thrive this holiday Q4 season. The first thing we're going to talk about is how you can use the new Artistly's version 2 seamless pattern creator to create some seamless patterns. Patterns are hot in Q4 for a lot of different reasons. People use it for wrapping paper, your scrapbooking, accessories, your digital paper packs, and also for backgrounds. So we're going to explore a few of those ways that you can use those papers. I'm going to jump into Canva and show you a few things. But one of the little tips is how to survive. Run 3 to 5 seamless prompts per theme, batch out the entire paper sets, and you can probably easily do that in under 30 minutes. And then you can have lots of things that you can work with. Um, the themes playbook is awesome for planning these seasonal motives and for product suggestions on how you can use these things. So anyway, we're going to pop back over into Artistly. I'm going to pop in and we're going to go into the seamless patterns. Now they have turned this into beta. They've also got the perfect text was in beta. They've got some storybook things in beta. I want to say that they've also turned the human stylizer into beta and photo restoration. What that really means at this point, and I don't know when you're going to be watching this, so it's probably going to be not in beta when you're watching, but if you're watching it currently, beta is just a signal to us from the company that these are newer features and they are working the kinks out. So, what we can expect with these features is maybe unreliability as far as outputs potentially. We can also expect changes that are happening that may be good, but they just haven't worked and made sure that they're consistent, so it could work sometimes and not sometimes. The other thing with the betas is that it's a signal to us that while we can make suggestions to them, they're aware that there are issues that they're working through. So, in my opinion, we should always be addressing those as an opportunity. They could keep them under wraps and then we wouldn't be able to use them when we can. So I use them while I can for what I can. So anyway, they have taken and put the seamless patterns back in beta. And really, what I think that means is that some people are getting good results, some are not. They're still testing. I have been able to get some pretty good results. A lot of people are still having some issues, which means that certain prompts are probably not jiving just right. So, the more complex the prompts, you may get varying results. So as they work through that, they want you to be aware that there could be issues. So test your patterns and make sure that they are seamless before you say, you sell them as seamless or whatever. But there are so many different ways that we can personally use these that are not necessarily even have to be perfectly seamless. So you can still use them for paper packs, which, they had the other feature that you could do that for. But there are a lot of things that you're not going to be using as. Okay, so for instance, if it's a much bigger thing and you're going to be piecing them together because you need a much bigger surface area, then you may run into some issues. But if you're doing for a tumbler, a certain size, then that seamless pattern should work, even if it's, maybe has some flaws if you're trying to make it, much bigger than that, as long as it will meet up with the surface area that you need it to cover. So it's not like a one size fits all. So anyway, so a seamless pattern of I'm going to pop into the playbooks and I'm going to let's go into the themes playbook. And let's just say I want to do a seamless pattern that could be used for, let's go to table of contents. Okay. So this is all outdoorsy stuff. Let's go into the forests and the woodland creatures. And I want to deal with these evergreen trees, okay? So I'm going to choose this. And then what I'm going to do is paste it in. Evergreen trees, pine, featuring pine, fir, spruce. NA, and then we're going to go into the playbook again and go into the holidays, Christmas and winter. We're going to pop down and grab us some colors. And we're going to do the classic Christmas colors because we want the trees, but we're going to try to get them in these classic colors. Oh no, let's do rustic holiday. I like that. Burlap brown. Yeah, those will be much better. Okay. I'm going to try to pare down my examples. Sorry. Jeepers. My computer's being crazy. Okay, so we're going to pop back in and we're going to add these colors. Rustic holiday colors of cranberry, pine green, and burlap brown. Okay, so I'm going to refine this. I've got the colors in there. So what I'm going to do is go back, rustic theme, featuring a burlap patterned background with pine green trees with with cranberry colored Christmas balls and a cream star on top of the trees. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but that's what we're going to try to do. So we're going to see what it does. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so it did pick us out a tree. It did do some of the ones with stars and some with not. It did the burlap background, so overall pretty good. Let's open up one of the checkers now. Okay, so we're going to go to Seamless Pattern Checker. And actually, I'm going to do it in two different ones. There's two different ones that we can do. File. Whoops. Did I not do the file? Let's go back and download it. But we're going to try this one. This is a different one that I've used in other. Okay. So I'm looking very close. I'm looking really close up, and I do not see any lines or any problems with the pattern. And it's pretty. Okay. And then I'm going to go and open another one. I believe this is the one I normally use. So we're going to try it in it as well. And so I do not see any problems with that. This is a fairly simple pattern. Okay. Okay, so we're going to pop back in. I'm going to actually just copy this. And then I'm going to show you how to put together a set to kind of go with this, some things to go with this. So instead of the evergreen trees, we're going to try to isolate and get that burlap patterned background featuring a burlap pattern. And because that's something that's very basic and it can be used in a lot of things. So, well, it gave us the pattern and it gave us the rustic. So that's cute, but that doesn't really go with our theme. So we're going to pop this back in here. We're going to remove the evergreen and we're going to remove the pattern of, and remember you have to keep that because it says start your prompt with a seamless pattern of, and we're just going to say burlap. Burlap of a burlap background. We're going to take that off, and we just want it to be simple. We just want burlap. And then when we see what size burlap, because sometimes burlap is a real close-up view, sometimes it's not. Okay, so we got some burlap. Okay, let's just take a look at it. Okay, and I'm going to go a smooth burlap background. Just trying to work with it. We want that pattern. Okay, so this is actually cute. We had pattern, so okay, of burlap. To be used as a background. Okay. Not exactly, it is burlap, but it's getting too much pattern on there, so. Maybe we'll go over to create. A simple burlap background. Let's see what that does. We may have to go back to the original burlap prompt. This one. There we go. Okay, so a simple got us where we wanted to be. Okay. So let's take this. We're going to download it just to see if it kind of matches up and what it looks like. And yes, I don't see any major flaws with it. It looks good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and grab our colors with the cranberry that we were using. We're going to grab it and we're going to go over to, well, actually, we're going to have to I'll just type, whoops. I did want to simple burlap background, regenerate, paste it, and then we're going to say in a cranberry color because we want the burlap now to be in different colors that can be used for Christmas. Now, the thing about setting this up is if you will copy and paste there we go. Perfect. Okay, now we're on a roll. So we know that we can paste this in, simple burlap background, and now we can make up lots of them in a pine colored green. Because we want to make lots of texture backgrounds that they can use. So this is the pattern it did come out with, and that's fine. We can make more of these. So let's go back to our slides now and kind of do a review. So you can definitely use the Seamless Pattern Creator, or you can just do digital papers to make different things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into Canva now just to show you how you can use some of the, and I'm going to go in like this. And I'm going to grab some tags and things and show you from some of my other patterns how you can take and drag those patterns in to make other projects. Let's see. Let me go into my tags. So I'm just going to use this as an example. If you have your tags and everything, then you'll go into and pick up, like, for instance, we can use these for tags. Look how quickly you could make some cute tags up. You could also use the bulk thing to add different messages. You can just add those with Canva. You can put a square over it, put a message on it. So you can drag any of these patterns. We could drag, this one's for fall that I had done. Here's a paisley pattern. So whichever patterns you use, you can do them for any of these elements, tags and things like that. So for Christmas, you may want to do Christmas tags, holiday things. I was trying to look and see if there's any others patterns I can show you how cute that is. So the patterns can be used for all kinds of different things, and different ones are going to look different ways. Like this one, you may want to enlarge it so that you have just the right look that you're looking for. Pattern, to get it on there. Okay, so, and here's a dinosaur one. So anyway, so patterns can be drawn and used for all sorts of things like that. Wrapping paper, different things like that. Okay, let's go back to our slides and see if there's anything else that I need to tell you about that. But anyway, that's the first idea. Okay, so now we're going to go into using the sketch tool as a stylizer shortcut. So it says that most people waste their time with the wrong settings. This hack turns into a turns it into a style machine. You can prompt the sketch tool to convert base characters into watercolor, vintage, or pop art styles instantly. And so there's a couple of different stylizers inside Artistly. Let's take a look at those. I've demoed them before. You're going to find them here. They've taken the human stylizer and put it into beta. The sketch to 3D render they don't have in beta. The AI stylizer is really cool. We can browse from our library, and let me just see if I can find something Christmassy. I'll tell you what, we'll just go make something real quick. Okay, so let's go back up to create from prompt, and we're going to go into the ultimate themes. We're going to go into this, let's see, cookies, cocoa, and Christmas cheer. That's cute. Let's go into we definitely want to make sure it's Christmassy because that's kind of the next big thing that we want to be working on. Let's go back up here. Creatures. Halloween. There we go. Okay. Nutcrackers. Let's do the Cozy Pet Christmas because I know that's kind of a really popular thing. So we're going to go into the Cozy Pet Christmas. We're going to just kind of grab that theme. And then we're going to go back into Canva. Into Artistly. And we're going to post it here. Okay, so Cozy Pet Christmas, cats in stockings. Okay, so, all right, so we're going to use the Cozy Christmas. We're going to add that it is a watercolor. We can go into the watercolor and look for just the right look that we want. Okay, so we want the illustrative, whimsical with the soft edges. So we're going to pick this one. We're going to add it to the front here instead of just watercolor because we do want kind of a whimsical look. So that's going to help. Soft edges. Cozy Christmas theme. And instead of cats and stockings, we're going to do a cute little cat peeking out from a Christmas stocking. The stocking is in a cranberry colored color with the color with cream top. On the stocking top, the text Merry Christmas or Merry Catmas. Okay, So we're just going to try it. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So we're going to try to Mary Katniss. That is super cute. It's even got the little, I'd rather not have the tail there, so we're going to go over into the stylizers now. And this is just going to show you how you can use them. We're going to use this. We're going to go ahead and pull that one up. And we're going to say remove the tail. Because we like that. It's a really cute little image. So remove the tail. Okay. So what we could have done is we could even get rid of those stars. So we could do that in one command. So what we can do is we can go over again to the stylizer, grab that image, and we can tell it to get rid of the tail and stars. So thinking ahead with how you're going to use the stylizer to make it quicker. So that way we got rid of both. We could have even said remove the background. So let's go in and I'll show you that, how you can do it in different, so that you're not doing it multiple times to get. So think through all the changes you want to make and do them all at one time. Now that's not like 150. You don't want to. So let's go back to this one and layer it in. So we want it to delete the tail and stars and background. Okay, so I'm going to download this just to see what it did with it. It actually changed the background color, so I'm not sure it actually removed that, but it did remove the other items. So, and it looks like it actually took away this time some of the detail here from our other rendition of it. The little berries are not as prominent. So go in. Okay, so all it did with that is it did not remove the background. It actually put a different background on it. But that's a cute cat and a cute image. So we could really do a cute little pack. We can go all the way back to here and to our regenerate. And now all we would have to do is we can do cute little dog with Mary Dogmas. And then we could work through the pets. We could also change the type, like if we wanted it to be, see, Mary Dogmas. Okay. We can actually go in and we can change the poodle dog. Now, this is a basic design. So I'm going to show, how cute is that? That is adorable. Mary Dogmas. And I'm not sure why I put the little dots there, but anyway. So we can also, this is a particular style here. This, we would need to remove this in post-production. But these are really cute. So the stockings I'm probably going to do a whole set. But maybe I want this to look a little bit more artistic, perhaps. So I can copy my let's try it this way. Let's go back into the Sketch to 3D. We're going to pull in this image, and then we're going to go into our and change the look of it. So let's just say we want to do convert this image to, and then a soft watercolor illustration, gentle flowing pigments with soft transitions. And see what a difference that looks in the style that we can add. Now the stylizers can take a little bit more time. While that one's doing, I'm going to go into a different one, and we're going to do the same. This AI stylizer, we're going to grab this one, and then we're going to apply some of these styles. So we've got several choices. We've got comic book style, Snoopy style, pop art style, Picasso, Van Gogh, line art. So we can turn this into a actual coloring page. Okay. Not crazy about how this rendered. This is not exactly what I wanted it to do, but we're exploring what we can do. Okay, so we did turn it into a coloring sheet now. So you can take these images, and in this line art style, you can convert it. You can also go into the human stylizer and do the same thing. So we go back to human stylizer, we grab that image. Where's our image? Here. And we want to turn it into a turn this image into a coloring, a black and white coloring page. So all of these, the sketch, the human stylizer, the sketch, all of those, this one was using the Sketch to 3D render. So here is the coloring page with the human stylizer. So you can use those to convert and also get products. So the thing is, get your pack down, then you can change them into different products using these sketch features. So if you're only going to do, let's just say you're going to do a pack of the Mary Dogmas and the, or maybe you're just doing those individual images and then you want to change them up. Now, another way that you can do it that you don't have to do the the sketch feature is if we go back into, let's go back to our poodle, and we just want to change the way it looks from one thing to another. We can also go into the AI Art Illustrator and pretty sure that I did not even choose anything there. Okay, so let's go back into the Illustrator here. Then we'll paste our prompt. That's what happens with the videos. Okay, I got too big of a hurry. I do that often, you know I do. So now we're going to see how this one renders that prompt. Now see, this is super cute. I can see these selling definitely. So what I'm going to do here, I perfected my prompt and then I've found a thing. So we're going to go into Pixel Cut and test it, because all this testing you do up front will help you in your other, like when you recreate those prompts. So you kind of do it once and then you kind of know, okay, well, that's going to work or it's not going to work. So let's test it to see. We know we can use that as a, oh yes, that looks as if it cleaned up very pretty, but we've got a much better watercolor, more marketable kind of watercolor, not a cartoon. We're going to download it. We're going to test it in here against the white background. Perfect. Look how cute. Even right here, these little details right here, Pixel Cut was able to remove all of that. So now let's work it up. We're going to go back in. We're going to go back over and we're going to grab this one. The prompt is here. This was our original one. And you can see just how fast we can work that up. But if you need any little amendments or you want to change up the style a little bit, you can use the Sketch 2, you can use the Human Stylizer, you can use the AI Stylizer, you can use all of those. But if you can manage to get a prompt that works with one of the other creators or generators or designers, whatever you want to call them, then you'll go see how cute. It's even got sort of a little vintagey look to it. Download that one. We'll double check it and make sure that it's, I would normally do these bulk, but I'm just doing them so we can see and make sure that it takes. Okay, so it left the little stars, which is fine. If we don't want the stars, we can easily pop in. We just grab that refine in Pixel Cut, remove the stars, done. There's no stars anymore. We download it. We go over here, we test our image, and perfect. All the little details are great, and we are on our way to having a really neat pack. Now, these would be so cute, and you could even do it as a template so that you could add a name here. With these, do different animals as far as different types of animals. So like with this one, I'm going to go back in and we're going to change the breed to, let's just say, a Labrador. So let's see. Cute little Labrador dog peeking. We could even do the color. And we still have Happy Merry Dogmas on it. How cute. With the little Labrador. Take it back into Pixel Cut. And like I said, I would normally be bulking these. And but for our purposes, I'm going to show you how to do this. I love that I have discovered the refine tool here, because if we do not want all those, then we can zoom in and we can go in and we can change. We can delete all of these little stars and specks and things. You just have to do it all at the same time or it resets. So if you go out of it and come back in, if we want to get rid of them, we just have to have a good eye. Let's zoom it out, make sure we've got all of them down here. I think I got all of them, even though it looked like there was a lot of them. Okay, let's do done, and yes, I got them all. So let's download that one now, and we can pull it back up. And look how great. That is just a really cool image. I love the holly. So cute. So I'm going to have to do this because y'all hear my dogs bark. Well, I have a black lab, so I'm going to have to go back in now and see if I can create a little baby black lab. The cute little black Labrador dog. Let's do that. And let's see how that turns out. Because I know that, individual dog breeds and cat breeds are going to, people identify with those. Look how cute. Now the stocking, I don't know why, I would probably recreate him again. Let's see if we can get a cuter stocking. And I may have to. That's cute. There we go. We've got our cute little, that's little Drake, Mary Dogmas. How cute is that? And I'm pretty sure that my Pomapoo, it's not going to know what a Pomapoo is. She's black too. So let's see if we could get my Pomapoo. Mixed breeds like that, or, those, whatever they call them, boutique breeds. I'm not sure that, it actually did. That is very similar to the way that she looks. Only she has little fluffier ears and everything, and she's older, but that's cute. I did like the more detailed. Let's do it one more time and see what we get. But that was a really cool prompt. That's cute too. Very, very cute. I like the holly in there though, so it's not giving me holly. Let's see. Picking out from Christmas stocking with little sprigs of holly with the berries sticking out of the stocking. Let's see if I can prompt for it so that it'll put it back in there. Because it really, in these, was not prompted for, and see, we get something different from there. But how cute are they? Yeah. So anyway, we could play with it and see. But you get the picture. I get carried away sometimes because things are so cute. And then I know when I go to the other things. So we could even take probably this one, and we can see if we can add to the human stylizer. Let's just pop this in and say, okay, we had this one come up and we want to change it up a little bit. So we want to change let's see, make stocking bigger, make the stocking bigger, keep the dog the same, add sprigs of holly sticking out of each side of the stocking, on each side of the dog, from out of the stocking. Okay, and let's just see what it does with that. Just to test the powers, which I know it does a lot of things, but oh, how adorable. See how you can add there? Mary Dogmas. And then we've got, how adorable. We've got our holly just the way we wanted it. We've got those extra little things that we could take off if we wanted to. And let's just test and make sure that this one also would be easy to remove and that it kept the sort of spirit of the whole thing. Yes. So I'm going to actually download this one with the stars, and then we'll get back in. See how the stylizer can like fix, or look how cute. Precious. These little puppies are so cute. Okay. All right. So let's pop back in to our slides. And so now we can use the sketch tool, but we can also use the human stylizer. So all of those stylizers fall under this. So you can tie them back in. Okay, so prompt to build 5 holiday products with use one prompt to create 5 holiday products. Okay, I want to clarify that when I say one prompt, we may make minor adjustments to that to get different things. Like we may change up, just like I just did one where we changed up what we had the stocking, but we changed from a cat to a dog, and we could even do, whatever else. You could even do like an iguana or something popping out of it, pets. So, but why this works is when we don't have to think about creating multiple, if our brain is only thinking one prompt, then it takes the pressure off. If we think we've got to come up with all these different things, then, and we think of everything as like one prompt that we're working with, we may change that prompt until by the end it's a totally different prompt, but our brain is still thinking one prompt. I know that's a little too much psychobabble. But anyway, it's less mental fatigue when you don't bother yourself to think, oh my gosh, I've got to create 10 different products, and that's all these different, prompts that I've got to use and stuff. Just start with one prompt and then see where it goes. Because often with my videos, if you've watched me very long and watched very many of my videos, you know that I start like with one prompt, and very seldom do I leave that prompt, but I may completely change how it looks and what the subject is and all these different things. I change within that element, but in my brain, I haven't had to start with that. Every time you start over with a prompt, it is a mental block. It's kind of like writers when they get writer's block. When you're staring at a blank page, just like you're staring at a blank prompt screen, it really is a subliminal block for you, because it's okay, and I do it all the time. I will start from there and I'll start building prompts. That's fine. But most of the time, I'll actually pull up something old or whatever, and then I'll start changing things using my playbook, because it does away with that mental block of having just the blank screen to look at and having to come up with that first word or whatever. So if you pull up one of your old prompts, and then you can literally just change everything in it, but it does away with that first 15 minutes of staring at a blank thing going, okay, now where do I want to start? Okay. So that is like a number one tip, and that will help you so much if you get in the habit of kind of starting that way. Okay, let's go on. Whoops, sorry. Go back to okay, so you can take the one prompt and we can make clip art, stickers, tags, journaling cards. We can make all sorts of things. Now, I want you to think a little bit farther than these normal things. So we can take one image and one prompt, and we can actually create a lot of different things. So for instance, let's go back to our little puppy here. So what we can do is we can go into Canva now, and I'm just going to pop it up here where we're going to start with a blank page, and I'm going to show you some things and ways that, we've used that one prompt. I'm going to kind of stick with it just for sake of the time. And what we can do is I'm going to upload this image that, if you remember, I kept the stars and everything on it. So we're gonna keep that. Okay, so we're gonna go over here just for examples of what we can do. We're gonna go up to the elements, and we're gonna look for mockups, and I'm gonna show you some different things here. Let's see all. So Let's do the t-shirt. So see, we could take and drag this over, and there we have a cute t-shirt. Merry Dogmas. How cute is that? So we could sell this image as, with the different ones. So we could even go back to the lab. Okay, well, that's the lab, but the other lab. Let's go, and I'm going to do this one because we want to keep the stars for that. So I'm going to duplicate this page and show you how you can just drag that. Okay, so now you have the background on that, right? So we're going to edit. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go backwards. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this, remove the background, and then I'm going to try to drag it into the frame. Okay, so now what we want to do, there we go, is drag it in. So now we have created a whole line and collection of these cute little, there's the golden lab, and then here's the Poo. And then we can go back to my, let's see. I didn't download my little black lab. Hang on, let's go into where my black lab is. Here, my little Drakey Poo. And then I'm just gonna, for sake of time, this is my Poo. We have the golden colored lab. I'm going to duplicate the page, and then I'm going to upload my little lab, black lab. And just for sake of time, I'm just going to remove the background in the Canva here. And then we'll drag him there. And so now literally you can do the whole line of little Christmas transfers. So that's individual products you could do. I don't know, for t-shirt designers, if you're doing commercial, you could put them all in a pack and then they could buy the Merry Dogmas. And I don't think that's trademarked. I haven't looked it up. It may be. Catmas and Dogmas may be trademarked. So if they are, then you can't really use them to sell. But I would look that up before I do this pack. But anyway, so here I have literally created, that's a product, t-shirts. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. And we're still going to be using this. So let's go back to the elements and go to the mockups again. We're going to look down here and we're going to get, let's see, I'm looking for coffee cup. Surely they have a coffee cup. Mockups. Coffee cup. So these would be things for sublimation. Let's see. Oh. Okay. This is actually a video. So that's kind of cool. So we can upload and we'll do the little black lab, remove the background and drag it in there. I'm just going to put it on the cup and then we'll look at the little video. That'll be cool. It takes a little bit longer for it to add to a video mock-up. Now what we're going to need to do is go in and fit this. That's how you do that with those mock-ups. And again, it's a video, so it takes a little bit longer than just a flat image to edit it in. There we go. So now it fits. So now we can actually play it, and look how cool that is on there. How neat, right? Okay. So that's at least two products, and that's not even counting the clip art. Okay. You could do it as a template where people can add things to it. You could actually, this would make a really cute, so we're going to go in and we're going to resize to that custom 5x7. Okay. We're going to take and we're just going to basically make this into a Christmas card. So cute, right? Whoops. Make sure everything's on there properly. Okay. So we've got a really cute card, Christmas card, Merry Dogmas. How cute are they? So that way people could actually, you could do, these would be individual probably items. You could even take these and let's just say you really want to get creative with Artistly. So let's take this image now and let's push the limits of Human Stylizer. Let's say we're doing designing cards. So we're going to take this where is it at? This one. And let's just say we're going to tell it to use this dog, but have him peeking from a galvanized metal bucket with holly sticking out on each side of the dog from inside the bucket. Okay, let's just see if we can change it up and see if Stylizer will do that and give us a different picture with the same dog. Because this is where you could get a varied pack. Let's see, failed to generate image. Let's go back in and restart the design and see if it'll do it. I am pushing limits, so it may not generate. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go back to Human Stylizer. Let's choose him. And we're going to change the wording. Change this image. Keep the dog as is, but put the dog in a bucket instead of the stocking. Merry Dogmas is written on the front of the metal bucket. Okay. All right. Close. We didn't get our little holly, but I didn't mention the holly. But how cute is that, right? We have our same little dog poking out. So let's see now if we can take that image and go back in, and not as many stars, but that's okay. We just want a different little look. So let's go back up and let's try it, because if we were going to be making a batch of holiday cards, so maybe you wanted, a person didn't want the same design, they wanted, a template that they could go in and create their own. Let's go here and just put add holly sticking out of the bucket on each side of the dog. We tend to think in AI terms of speed and time, but imagine doing this if you're a real artist and you're doing this traditionally. And imagine how long it would take you to paint one of these images. And then it becomes, to do a set, because once you did that set, let's just say it was 6 cards that you were going to sell. And you could sell, you could then make copies of those in respect to prints. And okay, there we go. So now we have the little holly coming out, and you can just work with it until you do. This is like doing your edits, for for your art. So let's just say if we were to go into here now, and this is a different way that you could use it. We actually created those burlap backgrounds. So we can go back in here. We can grab one of our burlap backgrounds now. Let's just use this one. But we'll go ahead and download the others as well. So here we are, and we're making, going to upload those backgrounds, do all 3. So let's just say we wanted to do a little something different. We could take this one and duplicate it, and we could remove the background, and then we could drag in this background, and we can position. Well, it's saying it can't detect it. I think it had not finished yet. So let's now do it. We're going to position it to the back. So now we have a different version that we could do. And that is Drake, and he's snoring. I like this one better, but you could, do it with the background like that. Are you okay, Drake? He really dreams very heavy and hard. Okay, so there we've got t-shirt sublimation, sublimation that can be used on t-shirts and mugs. We've got that would be so cute on a pillow. Let's go in and look at a pillow. Mockup. Pillow. And I'm just going to drag this here. Drag it here. Make it big. And then let's just look at how cute this would be on a pillow as a sublimation design. Isn't that adorable? How cute would that be? So now you're delving into what all can be done with these images you create. So a lot of times it's not actually the image you're creating, it's what you can do with that image. So when we start thinking of our images a little broader, instead of just clip art, we look at all of the uses that it can be used for, and we create based on that. We don't have to create as many images. We just have to create the right images because the right images sell. So whether you take and sell them individually, which you could do, or you could do like a whole pack. If you sell them individually, where people can buy just one and you sell it for a few dollars, and then you could do a whole pack, it actually increases the perceived value of your packs. So there's that. And there's different creators. Like if you're doing for a commercial business that is going to be making t-shirts and making those sublimation prints and everything, if they can get a whole pack of different animals, the cats and the dogs and the different sayings in the stockings, in a bucket, whatever, if you can do a really sellable pack for them that's going to allow them to market to their um, people, their customer base, then it's going to be of more value to you because they're going to look at their expense and then how much they could potentially make that way. So that's always the angles you want to go at. So, okay. And then let's see. Let's go back over here. And of course, clip art, you could do stickers. Let's just look at what those stickers would look like. And if you've created these images, but you did not, like for instance, these are all different. So let's just say we want to make a sticker out of these and we want it just like this. We can also take it into the, let's try it with the human style. I mean, with goodness, with our sketch. Okay, so we can convert this image into a sticker. And we want it squared for a sticker. Now, when you're creating, if you go ahead and say sticker style or whatever, but if you want that particular image into a sticker, you'll need to use if you don't want to do it by hand, then you'll want to use one of the stylizers to do it. And sometimes we do. We create in the same way that we create images that, no, that's not going to work for that. It's not the perfect image. A lot of times we do have a perfect image that we want to recreate, and we want to use it as many ways as we possibly can, that one image. And it's the sketch feature, so it's taking a little bit longer. We'll compare. Let's go into, while it's taking a little bit of time, let's go to the human stylizer, do the same thing. Convert this image into a sticker. And we're going to change the aspect ratio to square. That's still not rendered yet. There we go. Okay. So rather than putting all of this, it did cutouts for all of it. So we would have to be more precise with how we asked for it. So let's go back and try it again. Where's he at? Here. Let's say convert this image into a single sticker. Include all of the stars together with the stocking. So entire image is on one sticker. Now we'll just see if that works, because it did all the individual little pieces. They're not all connected. So that would be lots of little pieces that you would get. And that's not really what we wanted or intended. Okay, so it actually did the sticker, but it did not do the stars. So that's how that is. So we didn't get it all in one, but actually this is probably closer to what you would want anyway, is just to see that done as a sticker. And let's just take it in for argument's sake just to see how it did around the head, because it looks like it may not have done the sticker around the head part. So let's remove the background. Oh, it does have it. It's there. It's very faint. Let's download it and see how that looks for our sticker. There we go. Perfect. Isn't that great? So if you were going to do let's just say you were going to do the Christmas cards, you could actually include these little stickers in with that pack, and that would make that pack so much more valuable, because then they could actually use their Cricut or something to print out the stickers on adhesive paper and cut the shapes out, and they could use these as Christmas tags, because you could even add like a to and from on the stick. If you did a larger one, you could do them like large tags. So that's yet another use. You could use them as envelope. They could put their last name here, and they could be marketed as a way that you seal your envelopes with the little stickers that would say Merry Dogmas, and have from basically the Gibbs or the Petersons or whatever could be added here, and then they could cut them out with their Cricut that way. But you would already make them into, with the sticker outline and everything, so that all they had to do was add this part of, their names and stuff on there as a template, and then they would have personalized ones. So that would be really cool. And this would so be cute to market to a veterinarian's office, because they could literally just print out their own personalized greeting cards for Christmas, their Christmas cards, and they could use these cute little stickers on the backs of the envelopes, and that would be so super cool. They could also use them as the little sticker cutouts, and just punch a little hole, in it, and use them as something like if they were going to wrap up a gift during the holidays. And these are ideas you can actually sell to your local clients, is that they could take these and they could, and if you have a Cricut and you want to do these and charge more to the company by actually physically doing them and delivering them locally, then that is also a way you can make cash for Christmas. And you would basically you would do the print and cut. You would do them on like a cardstock or a shiny cardstock, something like that, however you wanted to do one, probably just a cardstock. And you would take these, you would actually imprint the client's name, like instead of a personal name, you would put from Four Paws Veterinary or Four Paws Animal Hospital, something like that. And then you could basically go ahead and click the little things. You deliver these little things. You could even come up with, okay, all you've got to do is you get the little cellophane bags, you put a few little, milk bones in there, and then attach the little things, set them in a basket. You give them to your clients and customers as a little Christmas gift when they come in during the December holidays. They get a little treat, that way. Another thing is like for banks, a lot of times banks have things for children, but they also have things for animals like pets. So you could do the dog ones and the Catmas ones, and they could do the same thing. They could, take one little bone or something and then tie the little Christmas card, this as a little Christmas card to it, sit it in a basket there. So there are tons of things that it is still time to do for the holidays. If you have the time and you want to go out and gather and sell these ideas to your to local clients. And the thing about that is it doesn't have to be a one-time thing. If you do it and it's successful for you, and a lot of times, like I said, you can turn paper into profit. And it's if you have a good printer and you have like a Cricut that you can cut the shapes out and everything, you can come up with lots of little ideas that you can sell to your local community. I think I'm probably going to do a video. Leave in the comments if you would love for me to do a video on using your art locally and working with local businesses. If you would like me to do a video series on doing that or coming up with products that you can market locally, I did that for years. I did all sorts of things before I got into real estate. I came up with different products that I marketed to my local businesses from a graphic arts standpoint and graphic art product standpoint. So now that you are creating these things, you can literally have a whole nother stream of income if you are wanting to do the actual printed items. And a lot of times you can charge a lot more for them because of they are labor involved, but most of these ideas would still work up fairly quickly. It would take you a little while to do if you could get, 5 stockings on one sheet of paper. You print all of them at one time, and then you stand over by the Cricut and you feed them in. You'll have to put them individually on there. But I mean, what you could charge a company for doing these is a lot more than you're going to be able to do with the other. And another thing is, if you've got older kids like teenagers, this is a great way to involve them and let them do the stuff with the Cricut as far as feeding it in and having them cut, give them a percentage of the profits, and then they have money for Christmas or whatever. So you don't have to do all the work yourself. You do the designing, and then if you can figure out these other ways that you can involve your family to do the physical part of that product creation. I've talked about with my husband several times about getting some other equipment so that we could use my designs and he could do some sublimation or some different things like that, because I personally don't have time to do it. But that would be sort of a sideline for him, and a way we could use the products that I'm creating, the images I'm creating, the same way. So anyway, we'll move on. But in the comments, definitely leave me a comment if you're interested in hearing more about how you can build a sideline business with your images offline, and kind of what that entails. And I'll get more in depth on some of the things that I did through the years to create that income, kind of a basis for the different equipment you might need or the different options. And I can explore that, and I would be glad to do something like that if there's enough interest. So anyway, so here's this. So let's pop back in. I think we've gone over 5 ideas now. But if you're looking at it from a gifting standpoint, you have a lot of people out there looking for ideas on things they can make to give because they're trying to save money. So if you can provide them with a pack, like let's just think of a home decor pack that would include images for pillows, and not just one. Let's think about value. Everyone's trying to save money through the holidays. So if you could do a home decor pack that would be images curated for gifting purposes, that a DIYer, like call it a DIY pack, something that has images specifically curated from your different images that would be home decor type items that people could do. Now, that would not necessarily be Christmas, but it could be packaged as a Christmas DIY pack, to offer gifts. So that would be something that perhaps you could encourage them by displaying on mock-ups and things that they could do the sublimation for, or the transfers, if they're a DIYer and they don't have sublimation. And they could do, they're looking for things specifically that they could make to give away, like hand towels And you could provide them with the little hand towel things that you've added a saying, or they could add their own sayings to your art. But frame it, because the way you frame your products is very much a factor in how successful those products will be and how marketable they'll be to your public and to your customers, and how profitable those products can be. Because if you just spit out an image and you don't tell them what to do with the image, then you're losing out on a lot of the market because you haven't given them the ideas. They come to us for ideas on how to use things. So if we can tell them how to use our products, we're going to be more successful. So think about all the little things that people craft and DIY at Christmas time. Think about, pillows. They can take these pillow, excuse me, these pillow, it's the little zip up pillow. You stick a pillow in it, but it's the cover, the pillow covers. They can buy like a pack of those, and they could do a whole pack where they just give them the pillow covers, and their recipient puts their own pillows, and they can change them out during the seasons. Or they do a pillow filler, and they include like seasonal. You could do a spring, summer, winter, fall designs, and that's a pillow pack that, if they wanted to give a little bit bigger gift, they would give the pillow insert, and then the 4 pillow covers with the different designs on it. So design packs around that, like different designs for fall, spring, summer, winter, that sort of thing. Thinking outside the box is where you're going to find your success. Showing people, giving people ideas, solving a problem. A problem is people don't have as much money probably to spend for the holidays because the world's kind of in a mess right now. It's a little unpredictable. So people are going to be looking, they still want to give, but maybe they can't afford to spend a ton of money. But if you can convince them that your DIY pack that's going to have all these different images in it that can be used for all these different products that they can create, like the same image could be used on a hand towel, on a pillow, on a note card, that they can use these things, even if you wanted to include the clip art images, but you also paired that with a template where they could personalize and add names to these things, or add that image to, think about ease. Would it be easier for them to go into Canva and add their little sayings or their personalization, like the person's name, to go in a kitchen, on a pot holder, or whatever else they're going to do with it? Think about doing a video that will tell them how to use your pack. And, you can simply do that. There's lots of places that host little small videos. You could even, I don't know, maybe you could do like a Canva. I haven't worked with the Canva websites and stuff, but it may be that you could just throw up a Canva page that would serve as, have that on there, and, include that in your delivery package, that here's a video with me showing you the different ways and talking you through the different ways you can use my product, my DIY holiday gifting package or whatever. See, I tell you all these ideas, and then I'm like, I've got to do that because, I haven't done that, but I need to do that because that's such a great idea. So anyway, if you can do that and bridge that gap, then people would be willing to pay a little bit more money. If they could get, like make this many they have to buy their things, but a lot of times people have things lying around the house. Maybe they bought a whole package of um the dish towel, the hand towels, like the cotton muslin ones that you can do your iron-ons on, or the polyester kind that you can do the sublimation on, any depending on what you're going to do. You can even get, I think, print and cut. I want to say that Cricut has something now where you can print the printable vinyl, where you print the design on it and then iron the vinyl on. There's lots of different things that you can do. So whatever you can show them how to do with your products, and this would work with not the idea about the little videos that you can include the link to on your in your delivery mechanism. That's also going to be something that you could utilize if you're doing junk journals or anything else like that. Think about doing one video that shows you using your product. It's going to be too long, and you're not going to be able to talk directly to your purchaser with the little ones that Etsy allows you because they're too short. But if you do a little something that endears you, if they watch that and they see how they can use your products, that's going to endear them to you. That's one reason I think that I have been successful with my playbooks and successful with my other products is because I talk to you. You know, this is the way that I communicate with you directly and show you how to use my products. I'm doing what I'm telling you to do. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You can, like I said, throw up a little Canva website, and then if they allow you to do that, there are other hosts for little videos and stuff like that. Research it, investigate, and see where you can store those things. You know, you can do a YouTube channel just to do those, and you can actually make those if you're not interested in the whole world seeing them. You can make those videos private and still include the link to it in your sales delivery thing where you have your link to where they can download their product. And that way, that allows you to sort of reach out on a personal way and say, "Hi, thank you for purchasing my product. Let me give you some ideas on how I use this product or how you can use this product." And give them the ideas on how you envision them using the product, because that way you are not just selling them a product, you're selling them solutions, and that's where you make the money. Okay, so I've spent too much time on that, but anyway, easy to take one prompt and amend it and create multiple products. I mean, just so many different things. Okay, I have 3 more slides and I'm trying to hurry. Okay, turn failed images into sellable items, basically. So we have lots of those. We've talked about it. I'm not even going to go into artistly with this. I'm just going to, you can flip those imperfect images into stickers, background layers, vintage scrapbooking or junk journaling items. And so that's really easy. And in the playbooks, we have troubleshooting places. So that's mainly where you can take the same prompt and you can also uh, apply those troubleshooting methods. So that's just a different way that you could use the bad images or the bad prompts to do things. Okay. Choose your core themes to ride through Q4, which is the last quarter of the year when all these holidays fall. So pick out a few of the themes that you're going to go with. So like if you're going to be trying to do a lot of cozy Christmas items, vintage Santas, woodland winter, whatever those themes are. And you know, the theme playbook is full of things. And remember, if you're doing items for gifting, they don't have to be holiday images. So go back and look through your images and your prompts and use some of those that you've already created with the playbook, or if you want to go into the themes playbook and identify, because this is an angle of the themes playbook that I haven't talked about. If you've already been making using my AI Artist Playbooks, you've already made beautiful images in the past, let's see, 6 months or so, because the playbooks didn't come out until February. Or my first one didn't come out until February. But since then, you've been making all these beautiful images with the playbooks. The themes playbook will now allow you, when you get the themes playbook, to go and identify these themes that you can go back and look through all your images you've already created and then pull them out into those theme packs, those themes for your products, and identify places that you can use those, get new ideas for those images you already have created using the AI Artist Playbooks for your prompting. So very cool. Now I have one bonus idea, and that's like think retail and go after the DIY gifter. And I actually jumped the gun and kind of talked about this before because it fit. But think about seasonal decor, gifting, and then those items like that are really easy to market to family and friends locally. I'm sure you know lots of people on your friends list that are DIY crafters, and if you reach out to them or you advertise your shop, and I have just put this out, do a direct link to that package. This is a great idea for, or you don't even have to show them. You can just say, check out my new DIY crafting packs, and anything that is a hook to have them go look at your shop. You won't believe what I just created. If you are trying to get your Christmas under, control, I mean, that lots of grandmothers are looking for ideas of little things that they can personalized ideas that they can do for their grandchildren. Um, if that can be holiday placemats that they color or do these little puzzle activities with, so many different things. So think local, because and the thing about that is if you think local and you create products for your local, what you think your local market is, you're also, if you solve those problems, then you can market them internationally the same way, because so many of those things, if you're answering those specific local issues, look in your listen and look for people on your friends list that are telling you what they need created. A lot of times their particular issues, when they are looking for something specific, are cues for you to go and create it on a larger scale, so, or at least investigate it. So let's just say you're on your friends list and somebody says, hey, do you know anybody that, I'm looking for a t-shirt that says blah blah. Now stay away from trademarked and copyrighted items, but if they say they're looking for a, I don't know, an elephant taking a bath, I mean, it could be anything. Well, you could quickly create one and say, hey, I've got this, you can take it to your sublimation person and get them to sublimate it for you. You can purchase and then take it yourself. That would also be an idea that you could, you probably got a lot of local people that do t-shirts and stuff like that, pair with them and say, okay, so I'll help you market this if you'll make them. So you tell me how much you'll charge to do it. I'll go out and promote these, and then you and I will split the money, or I get, 25%, you get 75% because you're doing the labor to sublimate them. Think in terms of pairing with someone local that's doing that, because you have a lot of cottage industry, a lot of moms that are doing it on the side to raise money to help their families. And so maybe your art in there, I mean, they're just going to go out and buy this stuff somewhere anyway. So if you want to like say, hey, I'll go out and promote this on my list and to my friends, and this is a way that I can help you if you agree to sublimate those designs. And then you just say, in a joint effort, so and so and so, so and so and I are doing these. Would you like to order one? This is how much it costs up front. You pay the balance when the product is delivered, that sort of thing. So there's just so many different ideas out there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching the video, and I want to remind you about the AI Artist Playbooks. They're what I have been using to do this video and do the create the prompts with. And they have tons of different word banks, phrase banks, textures, all the things you need to create your own unique prompts and elevate your prompting and your image creation with AI. You can purchase those on Etsy and on Gumroad. If you are in the EU, you will have to purchase through Gumroad, and I do currently have a discount coupon, and it's Summer 50. And if you're buying through Etsy, the discounted prices will already, if there's a current sale, be applied to, and there'll be a sale price. You don't have to use a code. And as far as the playbooks go, the Junk Journal edition is only available on Gumroad. It's not available on Etsy anymore. And so, if you don't have Artistly and you've just been watching the videos and you like what you see, there's no time like the present to jump right in. You'll have a lot of fun with it. There are many, many different creators inside Artistly. My videos sometimes cover one, sometimes they cover multiple designers inside Artistly. But if you're thinking about buying it, I would appreciate it if you'd use my affiliate link. It's located down in the description, and it does not cost you anything more to use it. You can even use the coupon codes that the company releases occasionally floating around out there. I think they do have a 10% or something going right now, but it may be more. I don't know when you're watching this. So check around and see if there's a coupon code you can apply, and you can help me out and save some money too. I have a Facebook group that is free to join, and I also have a weekly newsletter that is also free to get, and it just has lots of ideas on how to create, how to market your products, all those sort of neat digital product creator things. So that information and those links are also in the description. So you're welcome to join those. I even have a VIP program for anybody. Well, not program. It's a group. It's a Facebook group, but it is a VIP. So once you purchase, then you qualify to belong to that group if you'd like to join it. If you have any trouble making those, the link is actually in the playbooks. So for that VIP group, or if for some reason you can't find it, just send me a message or a comment or something, and I will help you find out how to get into that group if you've purchased one of the playbooks. And until next time, happy creating.